In this podcast episode, Krystal Ball, a prominent political commentator, delves into the complexities of the 2024 election landscape, exploring various themes that contribute to the perception that the election feels disingenuous or staged. The conversation touches on the impact of narratives, the role of social media, the dynamics of political identity, and the challenges faced by candidates in a polarized environment. Ball begins by discussing the overarching narrative that has dominated American politics, particularly since the rise of Donald Trump. She argues that the central divide in contemporary politics revolves around individual perceptions of Trump, overshadowing substantive policy discussions. This meta-story has created a situation where voters are more focused on their feelings about Trump than on the actual policies being proposed by candidates. As a result, the political discourse has become increasingly reductive, making it difficult for alternative narratives to gain traction. This fixation on Trump has led to a political landscape where candidates are often forced to align themselves with or against him, limiting their ability to present unique platforms. Ball expresses concern that this dynamic has stifled meaningful policy discussions, as candidates are more concerned with their image in relation to Trump than with addressing the pressing issues facing the country. The result is a campaign environment that feels more like a performance than a genuine contest of ideas. The conversation shifts to the role of polling in shaping voter perceptions and the overall election narrative. Ball notes that despite significant events, such as Biden's declining approval ratings and various political controversies, polling numbers have remained relatively stable. This stability, often within the margin of error, suggests that many voters are entrenched in their views, making it challenging for candidates to sway undecided voters. Ball emphasizes the importance of understanding the demographics of the electorate, particularly in swing states. She points out that a small number of voters in key states ultimately determine the outcome of elections, leading to a situation where campaigns invest heavily in targeting these individuals. This focus on a narrow voter base raises questions about the effectiveness of campaign strategies and whether they truly resonate with the broader electorate. Ball reflects on the evolving landscape of independent media and its influence on political discourse. She acknowledges the potential for independent media to provide alternative perspectives, but also raises concerns about the lack of accountability in this space. As independent commentators gain prominence, there is a risk that sensationalism and conspiratorial narratives may overshadow substantive analysis. The discussion highlights the challenges faced by independent media figures in navigating their responsibilities as influencers. Ball argues that while independent media can offer valuable insights, it is crucial for creators to maintain a commitment to journalistic integrity and avoid falling into the trap of sensationalism. This tension between entertainment and information is a recurring theme in the current media landscape. Ball critiques the Electoral college system, arguing that it creates a disparity in the value of individual votes. She points out that voters in swing states often receive disproportionate attention from candidates, while those in solidly blue or red states may feel ignored. This system, she argues, undermines the democratic principle of equal representation and leads to a sense of disenfranchisement among voters. The conversation also touches on the implications of this system for voter engagement. Ball suggests that the focus on a small number of battleground states can lead to apathy among voters in other regions, who may feel that their votes do not matter. This dynamic contributes to a broader sense of disillusionment with the political process, as many individuals struggle to see how their participation can affect meaningful change. The discussion shifts to the impact of the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade on voter sentiment. Ball notes that this ruling has galvanized many voters, particularly women, who feel that their rights are under threat. She argues that the abortion issue has become a significant factor in shaping electoral outcomes, as it has mobilized previously disengaged voters to participate in the political process. Ball emphasizes that the abortion debate is not just a single-issue concern. It intersects with broader discussions about women's rights, healthcare access, and personal autonomy. The Democratic Party's response to this issue, she argues, will be crucial in determining its success in the upcoming election. If Democrats can effectively harness the energy surrounding abortion rights, they may be able to counteract some of the challenges they face in other areas. Ball discusses the difficulties candidates face in crafting effective messaging that resonates with voters. She points out that many candidates are hesitant to take bold stances on contentious issues, fearing backlash or misinterpretation. This caution can lead to vague or overly cautious messaging that fails to inspire or engage voters. The conversation highlights the importance of authenticity in political communication. Ball argues that candidates who can articulate their values and vision in a relatable way are more likely to connect with voters. However, the current political climate, characterized by heightened scrutiny and polarization, makes it challenging for candidates to navigate these waters without alienating potential supporters. Ball reflects on the transformative impact of social media on political discourse. She notes that platforms like Twitter have created echo chambers where individuals are exposed primarily to viewpoints that align with their own. This siloing effect can reinforce existing beliefs and contribute to a more polarized political environment. The discussion also touches on the challenges of misinformation and the spread of conspiratorial narratives on social media. Ball argues that the lack of accountability in these spaces can lead to a distortion of reality, making it difficult for voters to discern fact from fiction. As a result, the political landscape becomes increasingly fragmented, with individuals retreating into their ideological corners. The conversation shifts to the evolving perception of masculinity in the political sphere. Ball notes that the Democratic Party has struggled to connect with male voters, particularly working-class men, who may feel alienated by the party's messaging. She argues that this disconnect is partly due to a perception that the left is dismissive of men's issues and experiences. Ball emphasizes the importance of addressing the concerns of male voters without resorting to toxic masculinity or reinforcing harmful stereotypes. She suggests that the Democratic Party needs to find a way to engage with men in a meaningful way, acknowledging their struggles while also promoting a more inclusive vision of masculinity that aligns with progressive values. Ball discusses the intersection of class and identity politics, arguing that the Democratic Party has often prioritized identity-based issues at the expense of addressing broader economic concerns. She suggests that this focus on identity can alienate working-class voters who may feel that their economic struggles are being overlooked. The conversation highlights the need for a more inclusive approach that recognizes the importance of both class and identity in shaping political discourse. Ball argues that by prioritizing economic justice alongside social justice, the Democratic Party can build a more cohesive coalition that resonates with a wider range of voters. As the conversation draws to a close, Ball reflects on the future of the Democratic Party and the challenges it faces in the upcoming election. She emphasizes the need for the party to adapt to the changing political landscape and to find ways to connect with disenchanted voters. This may involve reevaluating its messaging and priorities to better reflect the concerns of a diverse electorate. Ball expresses cautious optimism about the potential for the Democratic Party to regain its footing, but she acknowledges that significant work lies ahead. The party must confront its internal divisions and find a way to unify around a shared vision that resonates with voters across the spectrum. Finally, Ball underscores the importance of authenticity in political discourse. She argues that voters are increasingly seeking candidates who are genuine and relatable, rather than those who rely on scripted talking points. This shift presents an opportunity for candidates who can connect with voters on a personal level and articulate their values in a meaningful way. The conversation concludes with a call for a more honest and transparent political process, one that prioritizes the needs and concerns of everyday Americans.